Not the TV guide.
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 Amanda,
Andy,
what are we doing today?
not the TV guide.
Beth, what is not the TV guide?
It is a podcast where we chat about all of the TV and film we've been watching, and there's usually a lot of swearing, mostly courtesy of Grant.
Grant, is there anything you want to add to that? I wasn't going to use that gag this time.
No fucking comment.
Yeah, well, as you can see, people, it was quite funny the last time we did a recording just for Christmas time. Amanda, was it 3 parts we did or two? Can you remember now?
I think it was two.
Yeah, and it got marked explicit immediately. Hello, Grant. I don't know why, right? Now, before I give Grant a chance to have a rant, I want to quickly ask Grant about the Spider Noir trailer that's just broke today as
Oh
well.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because me and Amanda watched that about an hour ago, and Beth, you make sure you watch it afterwards. That's all I'm saying to you. Absolutely, it left me astonished. So, Grant,
It looks awesome. Yeah,
what do you want to say
yeah.
about it?
Well, firstly, I watched the black and white trailer first, and I just thought that would look so cool. But then I watched it in color. And I think I prefer. I think when it goes, because when the show goes live in May, they're going to have it in. You can watch it in either color or black and white. I think I want to watch it in black and white. It just looks that seeing Spider-Man noir like flying through Nicolas Cage web slinging through like 1920s Manhattan was just so cool in black and white. And then like, but I loved it when he was at the speakeasy and he was like, "I got slaughtered." That was
Yeah,
great, wasn't
yeah.
it?
It's very Beth. Honestly, it's very, very Nicolas Cage. It's like
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
it
like
good.
looks
Sounds
awesome.
good.
it's going to be. He's playing is it Ben Riley, not Peter Parker, doing another
Yeah.
fact in it, and that's why. So it's going to be slightly different.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
I didn't even know, and I'll tell you honestly, Amanda agreed with this right until the end of it. They announced it was in colour and black and white. I thought, oh, and I
Mhm.
thought we both said, Amanda, didn't we? What would we watch it in,
Yeah,
or will
I
we
think
watch it
probably
twice?
black and white, and then if we like
Mhm.
it, we can watch it again in colour.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
so
that's the cool idea about it because you can just watch it twice, can't you? And then you'll see new things probably in the color version. Because when I watched it in the color trailer, it actually the sets look gorgeous, like looking around it. But I just think the atmosphere with the black and white just suits it to a T, doesn't it? It's just so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, definitely that. So is that it was like it completely caught me. I knew it was on the way. I didn't know it was at the end of May, isn't it? So though I'm well looking forward to that. So, but anyway, now we're in some positivity. The first thing we're going to talk about tonight, everybody, yeah, is unfortunately last episode, obviously back in December, we'd only actually watched episodes 1 to 4 of the war between land and sea, or as Grant calls it, fish sex, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to struggle to say anything positive about the actual fifth episode. I really am. So I'm going to start
Well,
with Amanda. Is there anything positive you want to say about episode 5?
The ending credits.
what about the post-credit
Beautiful
scene? Do you
music.
like that bit?
Actually, I've got to say, I actually liked Kate's scene at the end of it, like a post credits. I thought that was really good. It was a bit too on the nail,
Yeah.
tackling a
Yeah.
bloke for throwing plastic water bottles into
Yeah.
the ocean. But I think it works because it showed if she's going to be used again in Doctor Who coming up, and I reckon she will be in the next whatever.
Yeah.
She's going to be more unhinged, Kate, and that I like.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the rest of it's fucking bollocks. So. Beth, before we come to Rant and Monster, is there anything nice you want to say about episode 5?
Um, so I genuinely didn't like dislike this
No.
series as much as a lot. I don't think it was a particularly like solid ending though. Like I genuinely quite enjoyed the series like as a whole. I thought it was fine, but the ending was a bit kind of like all over the place for me because I just
Yeah.
think it tried to wrap it all up too quickly.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it felt quite rushed, the ending. Like it should have been over like 6 episodes instead of
Mhm.
5. Because the whole thing of like him, becoming like a hybrid at the end and kind of turning
Fish.
into one of the fishes at the
Fishy.
end. Like I kind of
Fishy wishy. Let's get busy
Yeah.
now.
I was just kind of like, it just kind of came a little bit out of nowhere for me. I don't think they really explained. I mean, obviously, I guess it didn't really need that much explanation, but they didn't really kind of explain how it happened, why that was able to happen, what it
Yeah.
kind of meant. Like, I kind of got it, but at the same time, I feel like they just didn't really sort of build up to it enough or kind of wrap it up enough. Because it was the whole thing about him being, what was the word that they used? I can't remember. It was
Homo
like,
aqua.
sorry.
Homo aqua, was it?
No, the word for like the hybrid that they used, or it was like a code word. The
Yeah.
project.
It was something, wasn't it? And that suddenly then led them, didn't it, actually wiping out the fish. And I thought to myself, it was that
Severance, that was it, wasn't it?
Severance, that
Code
was
Severance.
it. Yeah, Code Severance, that was it. Yeah. You're right,
Yeah.
Beth. It felt really, really rushed, it did.
Yeah, because it kind of turned out, I think, that like Severance like also had something to do with him being able to turn into one of them or become like a hybrid, but they didn't really fully explain it and it just felt a bit rushed to me. I didn't mind it as an ending. I think it would have worked if they kind of, built up to it more, but I just felt like it was a bit kind of like it all just happened at the last minute, really.
Yeah, just double checking the notes in this one. You're right, they used a biowarfare virus, Severance, that killed 90% of the sea devils, the Homo aqua. And yeah,
Genocide.
yeah, genocide basically. Yeah, so it didn't portray mankind in a very positive light. That didn't.
No.
It did feel realistic in the sense that that's the kind of thing that humans would probably do.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, point. So, Grant, come on, you've said next to nothing here. Let rip.
Yeah, go for
I'm just
it.
getting
Go for
dramatic stress just thinking about it because I really had totally forgotten about it until I looked at Wikipedia like 5 minutes ago and went, oh my God, they did do that. Because I thought I was dreaming that they killed them all. I just thought that was just my wishful thinking. But no, honestly, what I found really, well, everything about it was awful from start to finish. I hated episode 1. The only bit I enjoyed was the actual fish sex in episode 4, actually, when they saw, but you didn't see it, just when she had the towel round and then they had fish sex. Like they actually delivered on the promise they set up. But my favourite bit was him running in the sea when he had his skill powers and just going, soul. Sorry. I couldn't stop laughing. I was meant to be this really like romantic, I didn't really buy the romance between them, and also I kind of felt sorry for the wife and kid, because he meant how much he loved still I had a good relationship with his ex-wife and he loved his kid. He just went, see you later, I'm having fish sex now forever. Fish sex for breakfast, lunch, dinner now. I'm just gonna go on. And then
He was a little bit quick to like just abandon his family, to be honest. Like
there was no like, I'll come round for dinner or my new sexy fish girlfriend or whatever. I mean, it's just like yeah. And also, it was dark at the beginning. Do you know when the fish people took the dogs? That was a bit intense, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that trying to make them evil at the beginning? I was like, no, these poor innocent dogs.
Do you know, I actually thought that was quite a good kind of like comparison though, because they were like, you ate our dogs, and they were like, you ate our fish. And it was kind of like it was basically showing how, we are weird in like the way that we kind of put different value on different like species, when at the end of the day, like no species is more valuable than another, is it really? So it was like showing that kind of comparison of like, why is it okay to eat fish or animals but not not dogs? And like I thought that was quite well done, actually. I quite liked that. It was kind of meant to have that shock factor, but
it does ask a question. If it had been shot in Korea, how would it have been shot differently, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
sorry, anyone listening to Korea, I do apologise, but it's a valid point where it looked like the English perspective of one man and his dog. In certain other countries, like I don't know if Korea do it nowadays, don't they? They have sweet and sour Labrador, don't they? So,
oh, do they? Oh no.
So anyway, but yeah, oh God, I have nothing else to really say about it. But you're right. I felt for me, I think it should have been 6 episodes, and I think it had the quality. I think I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes, really did. And I was hoping it's going to be as good as Torchwood Children of Earth, but it wasn't. But
No.
what the question to ask Beth is, was it an improvement on the end of seasons 1 or 2 of New Doctor Who?
I mean, I maintain it's an improvement on that. I think I've said this before. Like, I maintain that it was like it's not perfect by any
Yeah.
means, but I think it's like a far more, to me at least, it was a far more enjoyable watch than a lot of like the more recent episodes of Doctor Who, which is a shame, but genuinely
Yeah.
I enjoyed this more. I thought it was more kind of coherent and, you know, more well put together as a story and, you know, better written. So it made sense, you know, at least it made sense and it had some good characters in it, you know.
There's no space
It
baby.
carried itself, you know, which is more than can be said for certain episodes of the last series of Doctor Who.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, because normally these spin-off shows, you miss the Doctor, don't you? Like terribly. And
Yeah.
then this one, it was like, no, don't bring them in. Don't bring them in, please. Because you turn up and go, oh, oh, fish X going all like that. It's just been so silly with it.
Agreed. Amanda, is there anything else you want to add about this?
No.
Well, you just thought it was shit, did you?
Yeah. I was hoping he'd go into the water at the end and just drown, and she'd start laughing at him.
The girls didn't
Oh.
work properly.
Yeah. Now, if anyone's wondering, that's Amanda's version of how to write sci-fi thrillers. The male lead in it. After 4.5 episodes of misery drowns.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, if I'm honest, I'm going to give that episode 3 out of 10. The
Yeah.
7.5 the series, but I hated it. That last episode. Anybody got this one? Beth, would you like to mark that last episode?
If we're going series as a whole,
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 7. But if we're going just the last episode, I'd probably say like a 5. I don't think it was the greatest ending. I think they could have wrapped it up better.
Yeah. Well, ask Amanda for both then. Amanda, what do you give that episode out of 10 then?
I'll give it 3. I don't know about the overall. Whatever I said last time, I'll stick with that.
I think you give it 4 last time.
It doesn't surprise me.
And Grant, what would you give that episode out of 10 then? And then the series.
The whole series, I'll probably give it 2 battered cods out of 10. I don't know. It's horrible. It's horrible.
No,
That last episode, probably a 1 out of 10.
Positive thinking, Grant, to start this year off for us. So, right, let's move on then. Now, on to something more positive now. Maybe. Now, first one we're going to talk about today is what Beth's been watching on Star Trek. Obviously, Beth, we've got plugs to do before we start as well. So, Grant, you've got a new single out as well, haven't you?
I have, yes.
What is the new single?
It's called Life in the Medium Swimming Pool Lane, and it's a tragic folk song about my misadventures in my local swimming bath. So it's all based on true stuff that's happened to me. And,
are you telling me about that one? That's when you got your speedos out, wasn't it? And then they collapsed on you. Where can people find your single, Grant, and when is it out?
It'll be out in the 27th of February, and it'll be on all streaming platform sites. Yeah, hopefully do a music video as well before then. So try and do another stop motion Lego one for it. But yeah, so hopefully,
brilliant. You've got an album to follow in your new later in the year as well, haven't you? So
hopefully, yeah, by the very end of the year, I've still got to write and record it.
Only a minor complication, that right?
Yeah.
Amanda, what have you just brought out?
Yeah, so my book has been re-released, which is called Ghost of Me, written under the name Amanda Steele. And that's available everywhere where you get paperbacks, ebooks, audiobooks.
Brilliant. Very briefly, what is the book about, Amanda?
It's about a woman who's murdered and she has to solve her own murder.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's so cool.
It goes to me. Yeah,
it's a great book. She came out, was it 2020, Amanda? Wasn't it just at the tip of lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why it's been re-released again now.
Yeah, and I've just literally in about 3 weeks time, my third novel's out as well. When I've done one set in the world of the county court called Last Orders.
Oh.
It's complete. I need to state I've worked there at the moment. It's total fiction. I'm not going to get shot, right? It just goes about the life there you can face, but in a small court. So that's out under the real name of A. Nicholson, beginning of March. So, Beth, have you done any more work in your Star Trek freelance work since the last time
I
we spoke?
have, yeah. So I'm Star Trek news and features writer for comicbook.com, and yeah, it's great fun. I just get to do like little features and like listicles and stuff on all things Star Trek. And at the moment, the latest Star Trek series, as any Trekkies probably know, has just come out, Starfleet Academy, which I've been really enjoying. So I've been writing about that at the moment.
Brilliant. Now, obviously, I can guess what Starfleet Academy is about, but I've not read up on it. So enlighten us. What is Starfleet Academy about?
So, Starfleet Academy is the latest kind of Star Trek offering, the latest spin-off, because it's a bit of a weird one, Star Trek, because they are all technically spin-offs of the original series that came out in the 1960s. But yeah, it's the latest Star Trek offering. It's set, as you may have guessed, at Starfleet Academy, which is like the training, the kind of specialized training university, essentially, that trains all of the Starfleet officers. So it's kind of like dedicated to training the next generation of cadets and producing the next officers for Starfleet. But there's a bit of rivalry going on. There's a bit of rivalry going on, guys, because we have also got the War College this time around, which is like a rival school. Every school drama needs a good rival, and it's like training. It's basically training like cadets for more kind of like active service. So Starfleet is obviously kind of meant to be more of an exploratory organization and is meant to be kind of more of a diplomatic, peaceful organization. Even though everyone kind of realistically knows that it is kind of like a space army, but it does a lot of like diplomatic work predominantly. But now they've got the war college, which is kind of like specialized towards kind of more military training. So they're kind of like the rivals because they share a campus with Starfleet Academy. So we've got some good kind of like competition going on there. But yeah, it's just really nice because it's kind of like a little bit different from anything that Star Trek has done before, because it's kind of like more of a little bit more of a kind of like school drama or sort of like young adult drama. So they're all kind of meant to be like, 18, starting out at college and like finding themselves basically, which we've not really explored in Star Trek before, because they're all sort of like a bit older normally and like already serving on the ships and stuff. So it's quite nice to kind of see how that training actually happens and how they actually get to the point that they're at when we normally see kind of crews on a starship. So it's nice to sort of see like the actual training that they get, and kind of like it's quite funny because they've got sort of like, they've got like a bit of banter with like the lecturers and stuff. So they'll be like, where is that assignment? All of this. It's a bit more of a kind of like, a bit more of a school drama, but it's still quintessentially Star Trek, I would say. And it's very much like a lot of the humor is the same, and it's very much kind of like situational humor. Like, they like to torture the cadets, making them do like fitness training and everything, which is quite funny. All of that. So it's like it's just nice. It's kind of like a bit of a fresh take on it, which is nice.
Yeah, it sounds very different, actually, honestly. So I didn't realise this till just double checked before that this is actually the 12th actual Star Trek series in total, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
There's been like
just
12 spin-offs.
it's crazy, isn't it? In compared to the original series, it's 12, and I thought, I couldn't believe that. And I thought, my
Yeah,
good God. It shows you think about it really, because the original series was late 60s, wasn't it? And it's
yeah,
like at
yeah,
66, wasn't it? And it's like, it
yeah,
shows you really like it's gone on, it just keeps going on and on and on. So, no,
yeah.
cool. Cool.
Well,
Where
it's
you.
nice because it kind of like the only way it's survived really. It's a bit like Doctor Who in that sense. It's like the way it's survived is kind of finding fresh angles and obviously having like new crews and new characters to follow. So it's quite sort of Doctor Who-y in that sense, which is probably why I like it.
No, fair play to you. How many episodes into it are you? Because I think there's got to be 10 in the series, isn't there? But I don't think they're all out
Yeah,
yet.
so I'm 6 episodes in, so I'm up to date. So I watched the episode, the latest one came out yesterday, and I've just watched that, and there's 4 more to go, so I'm up to date at the moment.
Brilliant. And I presume there's something else lined up for later in the year as well, then, as a Star Trek, another series or something.
There's, I think, Strange New Worlds, the next series of Strange New Worlds, series. I think it's series 4 of Strange New Worlds is coming out either later this year or next year. So that's kind of going on simultaneously. That's kind of going on at the same time as Starfleet Academy. And that's kind of very different, actually. That's got a very different vibe.
Yeah, it will do. That's the one that had the guy. Oh my God, grief! I've forgotten the actor's name now. I'll just have to cheat now. It's got the actor from Helen Wheels in it, hasn't it? And I forgot his name now. Yeah, Anson Mount, who you've got to watch
Yeah.
at some point, Beth. Honest to goodness sake, I absolutely loved Helen Wheels at the time. The first 2 seasons were brutal, but it's anyway. That's all I'm going to say, right? So
I love Anson Mount. He's brilliant in Strange New Worlds, so I'll have to give that a go.
you know, he's better. Don't watch Inhumans, and who's done that. He was shite in that.
That must be really bad, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a bad series, mind you. So, Grant, is there anything you want to ask Beth about this?
Does it have any of the? Is it young version of the original characters, or is it all like new people?
No, that's Strange New Worlds. So Strange New Worlds is kind of following the original series characters kind of earlier in their lives. So it's got Strange New Worlds has got like Kirk and Spock in, and people like that. So and like Scotty and people like that. So yeah, if that's what you're looking for, then I recommend Strange New Worlds. But yeah, Starfleet Academy is kind of completely different, really. Sort of
I
new
take
people.
Is that set in a different time zone then, Beth? Is it roughly when is
Yeah,
it?
so Strange New Worlds is set Strange New Worlds is a bit of a prequel. So that's kind of set in the like 20, I think it's either the 22nd or the 23rd century. And it's like before the original series. So it's kind of like the early days of the characters of the original series before we get into the original series. And then Starfleet Academy is like centuries later. So it's the 32nd century now. So it's kind of like, yeah, so it's like way later. So what's really nice though is they talk about a lot of the original characters as kind of like people from history. So they've got like a memorial to Kirk, and they've got like like a memorial wall with like the names of loads of the original characters on, and kind of like there's loads of little Easter eggs and tributes to like all of the original characters. Like there's a James T. Kirk pavilion. Like they've got like school buildings named after like some of the original characters. So it's kind of like, and sometimes the kids will be like, what would Data have done, or what would Spock have done, or what would Kirk have done? So it's like it's got little tributes like that, you know.
Brilliant. Amanda, is there anything you want to ask Beth about this?
Well, I'm guessing with it being in the future, then people could watch it even if they've not watched much Star Trek before and still sort of figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. I would say like if you've not, I think it helps if you've watched a bit of Star Trek before and you kind of know the formula and you're into the formula. Like obviously if you've got kind of a basic pre-existing interest, then that helps. But you could definitely, like if you wanted to, you could definitely try and get into it as a kind of like fresh series. I mean, obviously you'll miss some of the references and stuff. But it is kind of its own thing. I think that's what's nice about Star Trek, because it's got obviously like each spin-off is kind of its own thing. So you can kind of watch any of them in isolation. Like obviously you're going to miss a lot of the bigger picture if you don't kind of watch it all and connect it all together. You'll miss quite a lot of like references and things, and it's not the kind of same experience. But you can definitely watch like each spin-off in isolation and still enjoy it, kind of thing.
No, makes sense completely. So brilliant stuff, Beth. I get the impression out of the two of them, last to wrap up on this, out of the two current series, is the one that you preferred more than the other?
Um, I would say I prefer Strange New Worlds simply because I am a massive original series girl. I got into Star Trek Trek that I saw first. So I've got a soft spot for like the original series characters like Spock and Kirk and all of the classics. So I liked Strange New Worlds because I thought it was a nice. It basically kind of felt like I get to see more of my favorite characters essentially. So it's like I like that. I mean, I do really like Starfleet Academy, but obviously it's like you have to get used to a whole new set of characters. Whereas like Strange New Worlds, you kind of already know a lot of the characters if you've watched the original series or any of the films, and you can kind of be like, yeah, that's totally Kirk. Like they're still the
Brilliant.
same characters, even though they're obviously played by different actors now. But it's like it's kind of the same character that you already know. So it's like it doesn't really feel like it's kind of like slipping back into an old pair of shoes, basically.
Yeah, no, makes sense completely. Brilliant. What are you going to give it out of 10 then, Beth?
I'm gonna give it. I'll give it an 8.5, 9. I'd say it's not the best series of Star Trek I've seen, but it's pretty good.
It's good to me. That sounds good to me. I'm glad you keep us informed how you go with the rest of them next episode, definitely.
I will do.
I don't think you've watched the next program, Beth, we're talking about, have you?
I don't believe so. What are we doing
Right.
next? Gladiators.
Gladiators! Oh, right, Grant, go on. Where are you up to with
Well,
Gladiators then? What season is this now? Is it season
it's series
210?
three now. Yes, it's the third series. It's been back since they brought it back. Yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah, so
Good
we're
God.
on the BBC now. But yeah, it's been an epic series so far. They've got two new games, brand new games, which I think have been really good fun addition to it. So are you up to date with it, Andy?
I've never watched it. I
Have you ever watched
don't,
it?
sorry. Amanda, have you been watching Gladiators?
No, I've not watched it since the original one when I was a child.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
there's lots of
Eureka
there's
Johnson's not
lots
in
of
it, so
real life men in it.
I'm not watching it because Eureka Johnson's not in it now, right?
Oh,
Right.
it's got Bradley Walsh now.
Oh, I know.
Oh no.
That's all I'm going to say there.
Bradley Walsh and his son's still there as well, Barney Walsh. So
Oh,
yeah, the two
well,
of them are still hosting it. But yeah, they've got two new games this year. One of them is like called Destruction, where you have to punch through like polystyrene wall to get to this button before the gladiators. And then the gladiator starts off like 10 seconds before the contestants, but they have to like fight and punch through this polystyrene wall. It's a bit like The Shining, a bit when they like punch through the door. They have to climb through it. It's pretty mental. And then the other one's called Everest, where they're on this giant platform and they've got like this glass door they have to push. They have to push them off the cliff edge, but it tilts, so it helps the gladiator for first, and then it tilts the other direction. It helps the contender, and then like the gladiator gets basically like sliding down this mountain. Really, it's really cool. So that's been a really good one. But apparently there's two other new games, but they've not shown them yet. So there's no new gladiators this year. But no, I think it's just really good Saturday night entertainment. Like when I'm out on a Saturday, I really miss it, so I watch it like first thing on a Sunday. but
what you
but no, it's
like?
actually one of those shows on a Saturday. I think, oh, can't wait for Gladiators to come on. Love
Mhm.
it.
Oh, what you like? Amanda, is there anything you want to ask Grant about it?
No, it just made me laugh because I know you don't like polystyrene, so
Well, that's
I
true.
imagine
That's
you wouldn't
true.
be able to do it, would you?
Oh, it is horrible, honestly. The amount of
I wouldn't
polystyrene
do
that
it.
goes flying
I
around.
wouldn't do it. No
Yeah.
way. No way you'd get me on that stage. Oh, no,
But
you
they've
see
had
me
some
crying.
crazy contestants on this year. They had a girl who was a reverend.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
she had like she didn't have a dog collar on, but like she was playing one of the gladiators on the jaw where you have to hit someone on the jaw, and she went, "Jesus taught me to show the other cheek, so I was fine about it." Like they're doing all these like she's doing all these
Brilliant.
religious gags and all that. But no, there's
Oh,
been some like quite funny contestants on there, like really,
brilliant.
really. Yeah, so it's
Really.
been really good stand because I think compared to like the original show, like people are so much more like into gyms now and all that. No, so you get contenders who are actually quite good, so they actually can challenge the gladiators. So it's just really interesting. Yeah, so yeah, it's
Really.
good fun. Yeah.
Beth, is there anything you want to ask Grant?
So they kind of like battle each other then, do they? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's almost like a sort of is it kind of almost like I don't know why the first thing that's come into my mind is like sumo wrestling, but that's kind of
Actually,
like
yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
it's like a silly version of it. Yeah, I don't know if you ever
yeah.
watched what's that program that was a bit similar? Is it called Ninja Challenge or Greatest Ninja? I can't remember what it was
Oh
called.
yeah,
I've heard of it.
I used to love is it Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I
it's
used to
got a bit of
love
that vibe
Ninja
to it.
Warrior,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you might like it. Yeah, so they all
Yeah.
have like silly tasks to do. Like they have to, yeah, like one is duel where they fight on these like podium blocks. One is like hang tough where they're like climbing on ropes, and one's like the wall. I think they follow each other on the wall. Uh, and then yeah, and one good game is called Unleashed where it's like a race. So the contestant runs off and the gladiator follows them 5 seconds later, and they have to run up a little mat and then jump and catch this flag. So the
Right.
gladiators running after them, and they're absolutely terrified because they normally get the like some gladiators are like nearly Olympic sprinter level good, so they're like catching them. So, but it's quite funny. A lot of people have got to the top and then they miss the flag, so they just because they're exhausted, so they fall off. Yeah.
Oh wow,
But
wow.
no, yeah, it's been a great series. And, but the only sad thing is, my favorite contestant, Gladiator, Legend, is injured. He's injured his arm, but
Oh
they
God.
still, but he just does like they do a lot of banter in the locker room, so he's just there now to do funny bits now. So that's a bit sad, but yeah. So he's my favorite. So what's that?
Is it
Always remember.
anything like Total Wipeout? Kind of sounds a bit like Total
Yeah, it's
Wipeout.
got a bit like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I was
like
under that.
almost like a race. That sounds pretty good actually.
Yeah,
I've
I
got
think
to.
give it an episode watch. I think you'll like it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to ask you, Grant. Obviously, to wrap up this last bit before I ask you anything you didn't like about it. Have they got a
No, nothing.
replacement in for Wolf? The infamous Wolf. It was the baddie, the gladiator, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I
they
used
have
to love
a
him.
Viper. He's called. He's like he just goes "Arr," like that, but he does speak. But he goes and rips the people. People have their like signs in the like of their favorite gladiator. He goes and like rips them up and all that stuff. He can be quite nasty. Yeah,
Oh,
and he
fun.
cheats a lot. But we
Oh,
have like a former Premier League referee involved, Mark Clattenburg. So they have the video assistant referee as well. So they say you were like your foot was 1 second ahead of when you should have
oh,
started, and then that kicks off, and then the gladiators kick off there. So it's all
oh,
it's all
God.
good fun.
Do they use VAR for it, Grant?
What's that?
Do they use VAR in
Yeah, they
Gladiators?
didn't even say the VAR comes out. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no.
they show it on the big screen. Yeah, yeah. You can't avoid it. It's everywhere. Yeah.
Well, okay, Grant. I think there's more. Is there anything else you want to say about this before we move on?
No, no, nothing. It was great.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it, mate. So it's obviously a 1 out of 10 show for you, this one, isn't it?
It's the opposite of Big Six. 10 out of 10.
Excellent. No, great stuff, mate. Okay, now I've next got down Traitors, and I presume both Grant, have both you and Beth both watched it, then have you? I'll lose count.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched series 4. So
Now,
it was
has there
probably
been
yeah.
has there been a celebrity Traitors since the last time we chatted as well? Am I
Yeah, we
imagining
talked about
things?
that in a
We
previous
spoke about
show.
that last time, I think.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, Beth. For people who don't know what is Traitors, what is Traitors?
So if you have been living under a rock,
Was I?
Traitors
Well, I have, and Amanda definitely has.
Traitors is like it's a reality TV show. It's a little bit Big Brothery, I guess. It's like a load of contestants go and stay in a kind of remote Scottish castle, and 2 or 3 of them, like most of them are faithful, but 2 or 3 of them are selected to be traitors, and they are basically like against the faithful, and the faithful have to try and figure out who the traitors are and vote them out before they all get murdered. It's a bit like Wink Murder. So the traitors
Yeah.
murder a faithful every night, and then the faithful have to try and figure out who the traitors are and vote them out before they all get killed. And then basically, if there's a traitor left in the game at the end, the traitor gets all the money, and then if there's faithfuls left, the faithfuls win and they split the money. And they do like challenges along the way to kind of build up the prize fund. So it's good fun. But I think what kind of sets it apart from like other reality shows is just the kind of like the sort of psychological element of it, because it gets it's just a game, but it gets like so personal. It start like people start to like crack under the pressure, and it's really interesting, like the psychology of it and the way that people start to kind of, like you can't trust the people around you. You can't trust anyone, and it's kind of like it's really, really interesting the effect that it starts to have on people, as particularly as the game goes on and you don't know who you can trust, and it's like it's just really interesting.
Oh, fascinating. Amanda, is there anything you want to ask Grant about this?
No, not really. I heard people talking about it on the video. I've just never felt like I want to watch it.
Oh,
Oh,
I love it because loads murder, so much murder in it.
That's true.
No, I prefer actual murder and like blood splatter.
If it was more like Squid Game, then she'd be into it.
That's a good point, yeah. Okay, Grant, what have you got to say about this series, mate?
I thought it was a great series. It was like one of the best that they've done in the UK. I think it was really, really good. It was. Then they had a bit of a twist this year of a secret traitor. So there was someone even the traitors didn't know who was a traitor. So they had a different color cloak, and it was really good because it actually puts the audience in the game, because you were like, you don't know who the traitor, because you normally when you watch from home you know who the traitors are, and you're like, you're going, all this faithful, you're an idiot, you don't know they're lying to you and all that. But then actually having someone we didn't know on who had been picked as a secret traitor, and the traitors didn't know, was sat there at home thinking, oh, she's a bit more confident, or he's been acting a bit like he knows too much. So it was like you were thinking at home it was when. But yeah, but I did you guess who it was, Beth? I thought it was the person who was the secret traitor.
Yeah, I guessed who it was. Yeah, not long before it was revealed, anyway. But I did guess who it was. Yeah.
And she was absolutely crackers. I loved her.
She was absolutely bonkers, but it was brilliant.
They picked the most like mentally unstable person to do it. Yeah. And honestly, some of the chaos she caused was just brilliant, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it was quality entertainment.
Yeah. And like we're talking about like people breaking down, like that author who was in what was her name again?
Harriet.
Do you remember? Harriet, yeah. When she had that breakdown at breakfast.
Yeah, she like one of them. Yeah, she literally like she kind of lost it a little bit, didn't she? She was because she knew who the traitors were, or she knew who one of them was, and like nobody would really listen to her. She wasn't able to kind of, and she just kind of like it was so obviously it must be so frustrating, and she kind of lost it a little bit in the end. She was like really like struggling to kind of keep it together and work tactically, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, there was some cool bits. Like I love the confessional booth when they were there, because for this first time they could actually talk to the traitors, but they were in the traitors were hiding in a confession booth in the church, and then the faithfuls were like, "I know it's you," and you could just see them like squirming behind the scenes and all that. Or they were trying to make deals with the traitors, saying, "Convert me, murder this person," and all that. But no, one of my favourite moments as well, Beth, was do you know was it Jess the hairdresser?
Yeah.
Was it?
Jessie,
Yeah, Jessie, that was it, yeah. And then when she just went to those portraits and like, you all get it wrong, you all talk bollocks all day, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, she like because they've got like a portrait wall where they like hang all of their pictures up, and then when somebody gets murdered, their picture gets taken down and an X gets drawn on it to show that they've been murdered. And she knew who the traitors were and nobody would listen to her, and she like went up to the wall of portraits and she was like, nobody believes me. And it's like
Brilliant.
It was great.
Obviously, this time then, if I ask both of you this question, who's been your favourite person in the series? Or is it favourites?
Oh, this season?
This season, yeah.
I think Fiona was my favorite. She was absolutely amazing. I loved her. But I did think they were good traitors this year. Like Stephen and Rachel were very good traitors, weren't they? Like he
Yeah.
actually had like a loyalty in traitors we've never seen before. Because normally they turn on each other, don't they?
Yeah, normally the traitors try and like sacrifice each other to make it
Yeah,
to the end. But they were really loyal to each other this time. And I thought Stephen was a really nice guy because he
yeah,
could have been greedy. At the
yeah.
very
It could have been.
end, like he could have been greedy and he could have got all of the money, but
Yeah,
instead he chose to keep Rachel in and share the prize money with her, split it
yeah,
with her, and he could have had it all.
yeah. It could have done.
He could have like,
Because
stabbed her in the back and got all of the money, but he chose
yeah,
to share it with her, which I thought was like a really decent thing to do.
yeah, it was. Yeah, because he was left with the other faithful. The main faithful was like his best mate, wasn't he? In that
Mm.
Jack. So like and Jack was never going to vote Stephen off, was it? So he could easily have won that. So it was just really intense. It was really tense, wasn't it? Watching it in the final. Oh my god, what is he going
Yeah.
to do? But yeah, I bet that honestly, in another version of that show, someone would have done that. They would have stabbed him in the back, and it would
Yeah.
have been absolutely amazing too, because they would have been furious, wouldn't they? After all that, yeah, to get so close. Because I watched all the international versions, you see. So
Oh
I've
wow.
watched the Irish Traitors, I've watched the Canadian, I've watched the American, I've watched the New Zealand, the Australian, and there is one. I've watched one finale when like they get basically like their best friend at the end turns up, and it's like they're just crying their eyes out. And I'm just loving it on TV at home. Going,
Yeah.
yes, that's so evil. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It
know it was a
is
great.
kind of like it is awful sometimes because like
Yeah,
they'll be talking to a traitor and they'll be
yeah,
like, oh, you would never betray me, would you? Like, I know that you're a faithful, and the
yeah,
traitor would be like, no, I would never betray you. I would never
yeah.
betray you. Like all of this, and it's just like it's so awful to watch sometimes.
It's amazing.
Has there been anything? Sorry, that's pair of you. Has there been anything about the fourth season that you both haven't liked?
The only thing I'd say, like, I think the faithfuls are a bit dumb this year. Do you think that? But sorry.
Possibly. I mean,
Yeah.
they weren't as dumb as the celebrity traitors. The
Oh,
celebrity
they weren't
traitors
actually.
were
Yes, it's true. Actually,
horrendous.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. They weren't. I feel like there was one moment where, so like sometimes the traitors have to do like secret challenges to kind of
oh
make
yeah,
it harder for them and try
yeah,
and make it easier for the traitors to kind of catch them in the act. So there was one challenge where they had to like murder people by uh putting like red dots on a
oh
family
that's it.
tree like painting that was kind of in the middle of the castle where everyone was milling around, and they had to go and like put a dot of red paint next to the people that they wanted to murder, and they had to do it in plain sight without anyone catching them when everyone was like milling about, so all of the faithfuls were kind of around, so they had to try and do it without getting caught. And literally, one of the faithfuls basically practically saw them doing it, and they were the last people that were seen
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
family tree
yeah,
portrait thing. And like, he practically saw them doing it, and he just didn't even say anything.
yeah,
And I was like, are you actually like, are you blind? Like, are you actually
yeah,
like?" They practically did it right in front of him. It was so obvious, and I was like,
yeah.
how on earth did they get away with that? Like, genuinely, you must be the most unobservant person in the whole like.
Incredible, brilliant stuff, guys. Okie dokie. Have either of you two got anything else you want to say about it before we mark it? Okay, Grant, what are you going to say about this here? But yeah, but you're giving it minus 10 out of 10, aren't you?
Oh no, it's the opposite of fish sex. No, I love Traitors. So it's a 10 for me. I think it's a perfect reality show for me. I love it. Other
Really?
than The Apprentice, it's like they're the gold standard for me.
We'll come on to Apprentice Part 2, people are wondering today. Yeah, I've got a lot to say about that. Beth, what are
Yeah,
you going to give us out of 10?
um, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 9. I
yeah,
feel like the only thing I would say is that I wish the challenges were a bit more related to catching out the traitors. because
Oh yeah.
quite often the challenges that they do to like build up the prize fund are like they're funny to watch, but they're just kind of completely unrelated to like who the traitors are. So I prefer it when they do like the odd challenge that is designed to kind of expose the traitors a bit and kind of help the faithfuls guess who the traitors are. I think that would be a better way of doing it if they made like most of the challenges related to the to who the traitors are, so that it gives the faithfuls more clues. I think it's difficult
Yeah.
otherwise. So that would be
Yeah.
my recommendation going forward. Get your act together, BBC.
Brilliant. Consider yourself told, BBC, definitely with that. Now, looking at the time here, we're going to discuss Stranger Things season 5, episodes 5 to 8, but I think that'll go on more in about 10 minutes. So,
Yeah.
Beth, out of your 2 programs that we got you down for doing part 2, have you got which one could you wrap up in about 10 minutes on?
Mm,
Or should we take a break?
I can do Lord of the Flies fairly quickly.
Should we do a lot of the flies then fairly quickly? Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine then. Now, I've read that book at school, and it's a running joke between me and my brother. That is one of the most painful school memories we got growing up with that bloody book of William Golding.
I think everyone read it at school, didn't they? Yeah, it was good.
God, yeah.
I've just taught it. I've just
Oh,
taught
really?
it. They're still doing it.
Oh my good God. Amanda, did you ever get taught that at school?
I think they did, but I somehow managed to avoid it. So I obviously have heard of it, but I have no idea what it's about.
Grant, you're like me, you probably suffered it at school, didn't you? Then that been the case.
Yeah. I enjoyed it at school. I mean, it was a long time ago, but
Yeah, well, even longer than me, mate, 'cause I'm 14 years older than you, mate, right? Yeah, people wonder, obviously, it's a book, and I mean, Beth's going to go on about that. Presumably, is it BBC this is on, Beth, is it?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
new BBC adaptation
yeah.
of the book.
Yeah, I thought it was, and it's the William Golding book about a gang of boys that are shipwrecked on an island, and everything goes mad. Now, I don't know if Beth's read the review on the Guardian on this, where they called it 2026's Adolescence. Did you watch that last year with Stephen Graham?
I haven't watched Adolescence actually, I will admit, because I just think it would be too dark for me. I think it would give me nightmares, to be honest. I just
It
didn't
gave
want to
me
go there,
nightmares. It gave me
yeah.
yeah.
nightmares. That did. So anyhow,
But I do think if it's basically like what they're getting at is that it's kind of like, the big hard hitting masterpiece show of the year, then yeah, I think it is. I think it's pretty good. I've still got 2 episodes to go. So I've only watched it's a 4-part series. I've only watched the first 2. It is very, very good as an adaptation. Like it is beautifully done. Like the main thing that I would say is just really stand out is like the cinematography is incredible. I don't know where they filmed it, but it is absolutely stunning, the scenery. Like it's got some amazing shots and like some just spectacular camera work. It's really, really well produced. Like it's got a really nice kind of like pacing to it, and there's a lot of like big panning shots of like the island and like the scenery, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's really like beautifully filmed. And the actors are fantastic. Like it's a really young cast, obviously, because it's all kids. So it's a really young cast of actors, and they are, oh my God, they are absolutely phenomenal. Completely phenomenal. I've forgotten his name, but the boy who's playing Jack, who is like kind of the villain of the book, basically, who he's kind of like the bully, sort of like the mean guy, I guess. He is spectacular, the actor playing him, and he's also playing Draco Malfoy in the new series of Harry Potter.
Oh, is he?
oh,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's brilliant casting. He's just perfect for that kind of like villain archetype. He's completely brilliant. I think he's only young. I think he's only about 14. And he's just phenomenal. His
yeah,
acting is brilliant.
the actor's name is Lox Pratt. I've just double checked that.
Mm.
And I'll just tell you his name at his age as well. What I didn't realise was, Beth, until I just brought this up then, was how old is Lox Pratt? He's 14, yeah. And it turns out, I didn't realise this, that the Adolescents TV show last year, Jack Thorne, he's responsible for this series, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's a
that,
it's a really good series. Like it's quite faithful to the book as well. I think it's a really good adaptation. Because it's a really dark book. So I think it's quite difficult to sort of translate that to the screen in some ways without just being kind of like cliche. And I feel like they've kind of found a way to kind of translate that kind of the feeling of the book onto the screen and the kind of like murder and like the horror of it without it kind of seeming like, because obviously anyone can do like, you know, a brutal murder on screen or whatever. Anyone can kind of do like horror on screen, and sort of like, you know, psychological horror on screen, but it's like it's how you do it. And I think it feels very like, it doesn't feel kind of like, oh yeah, he's been murdered now. Like it feels very sort of like the pacing's really good. It builds it up really well. And I think it's like it somehow really captures that kind of sense of like shock and isolation and sort of like I think it really gets across like almost what William Golding was like intending with the book, which is nice. I think it's a really good adaptation to show like students that are studying it as well.
good point. No, good point indeed, Beth. It is. I'm not. I joke. I suffered it at school. I do joke over that, but it's a worthy book, don't you? Straight away, but it's good stuff indeed. Okay, Grant, is there anything you want to ask Beth about this?
What's the character who plays Piggy like? Is he good?
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
The actor who plays Piggy's great as well. And what I like is they've kind of made him almost like a little bit more mature in the
Okay.
series. So in the book, like Piggy is kind of quite, he's sensible and he's like a nice boy, but he's still quite innocent. Whereas
Yeah.
like in the series, it's almost like he knows what's going to happen to him. Almost like he knows that, you know, something's not quite right here, and it's not going to end well for him. You know, and it's like he knows that Jack is gonna sort of turn and is gonna, you know, do something. Like it's almost like he knows that Jack's gonna do something, you know, and it's like he's only like a young boy, but he's kind of like nobody else kind of believes him, and everybody else loves Jack, but he's kind of there like, I know this type of guy, you know, I know this guy, I can see through him, and he's like the only one that kind of sees through like the facade in a way, and it's like it's really painful to watch almost, because he's like, you know, basically kind of like, I'm going to end up dead and it's going to be because of him, you know, like it's one of those where it's almost like happening in slow motion, you know, and it's like it's really sort of chilling to watch. It's
Oh yeah,
brilliant.
that's disturbing. Yeah. That sounds really
Yeah.
cool. I'll think of it a go then. Yeah. I didn't know it was only 4 parts. That's cool. Yeah.
Only 4 parts. Oh wow! But saying that, it's only quite a reasonably short book anyway, so I suppose it makes sense that. Amanda, is there anything you're interested in asking Beth about this?
No questions, but I'm seeing a pattern here. Bits of this sound a bit like Traitors.
That's
Oh,
it. Yeah.
considering
I guess
that
it
was
is in a way.
yeah, isn't it? I hadn't thought it wasn't planned to do that in the running order, but it's followed on a nice progressive leap actually. That yeah, good point. Okay,
It'd be
Beth.
nice to see Claudia Wilkerman on a raft on the island at the end. You won.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen, it could be Alan Sugar coming along saying, "You're fired. You're fired."
Yeah.
Oh shit! You've set me on fire. Right. Anyway, Beth, is there anything else you want to bring up before we wrap up?
No, other than, yeah, I think it'll be great to show in schools, as I say, because I know they're going to be showing it at in the English department at like the school that I was working at, and like we actually did like a big kind of Christmas quiz for the year 11s, and one of the prizes was a t-shirt with "The Beast is Real" on it from Lord of
Really?
the Flies, which was a really good prize. So it's like I feel like it's actually become quite like dare I say, cool for like young people. You know, it's like it's actually kind of like they actually quite like it. It's quite respected now as like it's one of those where they don't want to admit that they like it, but it's like you can tell that they actually quite enjoy studying it. So it's like, yeah.
Cool. What are you going to give us out of 10 then, Beth?
I'll give it a I'll give it a 9. Really good. Really
Good
good.
show. Good show. Indeed. Good stuff. Okay, folks. Now we're finishing freaking you all out. We're going to let everyone take a quick break and catch your breath. And we shall be back in 2 shakes of the dice when we desecrate, or maybe even like, the second half of Stranger Things Season 5. See you all soon.
Not the TV guide.
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 Not the TV guide.